This video is sponsored by SquareSpace. You don't have to spend £12,000 on a brand new road bike. So in this video, I picked 6 amazing examples of road bikes that cost about £2,000 or $2,000 and demonstrate that you can get amazing performance whether you're going road racing, doing a Gran Fondo, or just want to ride for fun and fitness. Now, before we dive into the first example, it's worth talking a little bit about what to expect at this price range to help you make the right choice. There are a few decisions, and the big one is the frame material. You can definitely get a carbon road bike at this price point, and I'll pick some good examples later in the video. But it's worth remembering that carbon frames at this price range are often quite a bit heavier than the top end flagship carbon frames. You definitely won't get a 700 gram frame at this price point. They're more likely 900 grams to 1,000 grams or often over a kilogram, even though on the surface, on the outside, they look the same. The other popular frame material at this price point is aluminium, or alloy for short, and often doesn't have the best reputation compared to carbon, but it shouldn't be discounted. Modern alloy frames offer a fantastic ride quality, plenty of stiffness, so good for racing, and pretty lightweight as well, and sometimes as light or lighter than a cheaper carbon frame. The other big decision is in the components and the group set, the gears and brakes on the bike. And really there's one option, Shimano. They are king at this price point, and neither SRAM or Campag offer any options at this price point, so it's Shimano all the way. But within the Shimano range, you have quite a few options. From the best value, offering a Shimano Ultegra mechanical shifting group set, as I'll show you in a few minutes, and then down to 105, so old 11-speed 105 mechanical, or sometimes Tiagra, which is the company's 4th tier group set. And then other parts on the bike show bikes in the price range are good upgrade options, because sometimes the wheels, the tyres, the finishing kits, so the seat posts, the saddle, handlebar and stem aren't the highest quality. Concessions and compromises do have to be made to get a bike down to the price point, but that means plenty of upgrade options down the path, and new wheels and tyres are often a good way to get more performance and more comfort from a bike at a price point. So it's worth bearing in mind what's most important to you, the overall package or a high quality frame you can upgrade in the future. Plenty of options to consider through the rest of this video. And we'll dive in with probably the best value bike in this category, the Giant TCR Advance 1. Now, the reason I'm recommending the Giant is because personally, I think they offer fantastic performance, ride quality, and value for money. I own a mid-range Giant TCR Advance Pro. You might have seen it on the channel, I'll put a few links down below. Fabulous bike, does everything you want. Probably not the sexiest bike brand in the world, but one you definitely buy with your head. But when it comes to value, well, this bike is hard to beat. So we have a really nice carbon frame and fork, space with 32mm wide tyres, internal K-routing for the most part, and then a Shimano Ultegra 11-speed mechanical shifting hydraulic disc brake group set. So not the new 12-speed electronic stuff, but a previous generation group set, which in my humble opinion is one of the best ever made. I did a video on it about 2 years ago, link down below, and it really is a fantastic group set. Good shifting, good brakes, no battery to charge up, it just works. So even more reason to rush out and buy the bike right now while it's still available. And even more so as it's on offer. You even get nice tubeless ready wheels and tyres, but definitely an area of the bike you can upgrade. Put some nice deep section carbon wheels in there and you have a bike ready for racing or doing sportives. So a bike I can hand on heart recommend. Fantastic ride quality, does everything you want, and the value from the bike is just fantastic. So we could stop the video here, but don't, I've got a few more good options for you to consider as well. Canyon is another obvious choice because they've made a name in value for money and also high quality and high performance bikes. And here they have a few interesting options. Their Endurace offers a carbon frame with a Shimano 105 disc brake mechanical group set for this price. So the Endurace is their endurance bike, hence the name, with a more relaxed geometry, so more upright fit and precision, which makes it a comfy bike, good for long rides, sporties and Gran Fondos. And it also has space with 35mm wide tyres, so loads of options for a comfy, smooth ride. Now, if you want something a bit racier, like the TCR perhaps, from Canyon, Then their cheapest Ultimate, which is their flagship race bike, doesn't quite hit our price band. But if you're prepared to spend about £150 more, you can get a nice Ultimate, their entry-level model or their cheapest model in this range. So the Ultimate is very similar to the Endurace. They both have a carbon frame, but the Ultimate has a more aggressive geometry. So a shorter head tube for a lower stack and a slightly longer reach. So a bit more stretched out and a bit more aero. That may suit you, it may not, it depends on what you're doing. If you're racing, the Ultimate is a better choice. If you're doing grand fondos and riding for fun and leisure, then the Endurace is probably a better pick, especially with the wide tyres the bike can take. Looking through the Trek range, and they don't actually offer a carbon fiber bike at its price point. And the best offering in this price range is the Emonda AL4. Now the Emonda is their lightweight platform, comes in carbon fiber at the pricey end and aluminium or alloy at the lower end. And not many bike brands do aluminium or do aluminium really well, but Trek is one of the few bike brands still investing and still supporting aluminium as a really good option. It's well under budget at £1,750 as well, but you only get a Shimano Tiagra group set. Now Tiagra is Shimano's 4th tier group set underneath Dura-Ace, Ultegra and 105. It's a 10-speed group set, so not 11 or 12. And mechanical shifting with hydraulic disc brakes. And the worst thing about a group set really is that it's a bit heavier than the group sets above it. But in terms of performance, functionality and ergonomics, it works just fine. So not a group set to be discounted. But the Emonda with the alloy frame and the Tiagra group set isn't as good value on paper as the bikes I've already mentioned, but it's quite a bit cheaper. And some people at this price range might prefer aluminium. It's potentially more bomb-proof, not as fragile as carbon fiber, and Tiagra is a reliable workhorse group set. And like the other bikes, you can upgrade the wheels and tyres to make it a bit flashier and a bit sportier as well. And the geometry on the Trek is fantastic as well. So great handling, basically the same handling as you get from the higher end carbon fiber Emonda, but a slightly heavier package. Now, before we talk about why Specialized doesn't offer a road bike in this price range, let me tell you about today's sponsor, SquareSpace. SquareSpace is the best platform for building a brand new, shiny, slick website. It really can be simpler, takes minutes, and the whole interface is fantastic, really easy to use. So if you need a website for your bike shop, want to grow your presence online, you're running a cool bike brand, you need a website to show off your products in beautiful glory, or you're a photographer and need a nice gallery to show off your photos, with SquareSpace, it couldn't be any easier. The SquareSpace interface is really easy to use, super intuitive, drag and drop, click and edit, and there's loads of templates to choose from as well to get you up and running really quickly. You've got loads of powerful analytical tools. You can plug in your social media channels very easily and around the clock support if anything goes wrong, but it won't because that's it. If you need a website in 2023, Squarespace is a platform for you, and you get a 10% discount off your first purchase right now using my special code and link down below in the description. Now, looking through the Specialized range, and it's really interesting that they don't actually offer a road bike in this price range, which seems crazy. There's no tarmac, and there's no alley at this price range. Well, you can buy an alley frame, but that's not a whole bike. But if you look to their Diverge range, which is their gravel and adventure bike lineup, you can get the bike in price. And it might seem a bit crazy, including a gravel adventure bike in this category of road bikes, but here in the UK especially, many people are leaning towards gravel and adventure bikes as road bikes. It's nice, fat, slick tyres, you have the more upright position and the easier gears, which make them perfect for road riding when the road conditions are terrible in terms of potholes and gravel. We ride through the rain and snow here in the UK, and you're riding on narrow lanes as well, not nice, smooth, well-maintained tarmac roads. So gravel and adventure bike, if you're looking for more comfort, more versatility and more practical options, might be a good pick compared to all the race bikes I've talked about so far. So with this Diverge Elite E5, you get a nice alloy frame, a carbon fork, no future shock suspension, probably not a bad thing, and a Shimano GRX 400 group set. So hydraulic disc brakes and mechanical shifting. So an interesting option, a bit of a curveball perhaps, but definitely one to consider if your aspirations are more comfort and long distance than racing and high speed and marginal gains. Vitus or Vitus is a chain reaction cycles house brand and offers amazing value for money and some really sleek looking bikes. I've got some coming in for review very soon, so make sure you stay tuned to see those. A sub to the channel, hitting that button down below would be fantastic. But this bike looks a good option. Definitely fits our category in this price range for sure. So it's called the Xenium CRS. Not a bike I've ridden, but on paper it looks really good. And I have seen some good reviews of the bike elsewhere. Like the giant TCR, there is space for 32mm wide tyres, so good for rough road comfort. Really a race bike you max out comfort and smoothness on for sure. The frame is also UCI certified, should you want to go racing as well. But a UCI sticker just means it's been through a series of tests. Whether it matters to you depends on your aspirations for road riding. And being chain reaction cycles, you can buy it online, have it delivered to your house in a big box anywhere in the world as well. And they're regularly doing sales as well, so worth checking out if you want a bike on a good budget. Now, hands up if you've heard of Rose bikes. Some of you have, some of you haven't. They're a German bike shop, now a German bike brand, and very popular for good value for money and well-designed bikes. They often go under the radar, which is a shame. But over the years, I have reviewed quite a few of their bikes, but not here on the channel, thanks to Brexit. But that aside, they are good bikes, and I hope to review some on the channel in the future. So this is a Pro SL disc, and you get a really nice looking carbon frame, looks really modern. And one of the standout features is the full internal K-routing. Now, internal K-routing is a feature on top-end bikes, good or bad. Some people love, some people hate it. Depends on your point of view in terms of maintenance and durability and just ease of living with such a bike. But it's now coming to lower end bikes, and this Pro SL disc is the only bike in the video to have full internal K-routing. So in that way, it looks modern, looks expensive, and looks high end. We also have an internal seat clamp as well, so the whole bike looks super clean, super sleek. And emphasizing the value for money offered by Rose, we have a Shimano Ultegra 11-speed mechanical shifting hydraulic disc brake group set, the same as on a giant TCR at the top of the video earlier. So not the new 12-speed stuff, the older generation group set, but just as good as you need these days. So fantastic group sets, a good option on a really high-end looking carbon frame. If you enjoyed this video and want to see a roundup with some more expensive bikes costing about £3,000, see what difference they offer over the bikes in the video, do check out that video right up here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button right here. But that's all for today. I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much for watching.